The Amazon rainforest in South America is one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. With over 20 million different living species, including elusive jaguars and colorful butterflies, secondary or regenerating forests make up 57% of the world's forests. Despite being protected, there are still threats that endanger the rainforest every single day, including exportation of goods, logging, and cattle farming. Over a long period of time, these actions can affect the wildlife and eventually the area's recovery. The Manu Learning Center area is one area that has been affected by these issues and is currently in recovery from years of damage. Until the 1990s, the main use of this land was for cattle farming. This activity affected the Madre de Dios region as a whole. There were parts of the rainforest that were cleared completely for farming, parts that were partially cleared, and parts that were selectively logged. After being bought by the Crees Foundation, the portion of damaged rainforest became protected and started to regenerate, which is now home base for scientists interested in the preservation of the Amazon. Every day, there are surveys done by staff members and interns about which species have returned and which species are new to the area. There are now 3 different forest types at the MLC, sharing a difficult past, a long recovery, and a hopeful future. Before being disrupted, the Amazon was considered primary rainforest. This type of rainforest is teeming with 100-year-old trees and wildlife. Walking through primary forest, you can see and feel the life within it. One tree species residing in primary forest is the ficus tree, which signifies the age of the forest. Many of the ficus trees are about 50 to 100 years old, but one particular tree is over 300 years old and is one of the oldest trees known in primary rainforest. Even though the tree is considered one of the oldest species in the Amazon, it is still a teenager at 300 years. Regenerating forest lacks the massive old trees that primary rainforest has kept for hundreds of years. At the MLC, the forest is in the process of being restored to its natural state. Completely cleared rainforest is what was once used for cattle farming. As the name suggests, it was cleared to be a pasture for beef and dairy production. Now it is a dense forest floor with a canopy that allows a lot of sunlight through. Partially cleared forest was used for coffee, cocoa, and coca plantation. It has regenerated similarly to the completely cleared areas, but still has some of the older trees it once had. Selectively cleared forest is the furthest away from the MLC and was only logged for exportation of wood. It is the part of forest that is most similar to primary. Its floor is open and the canopy is dense, which doesn't allow for much sunlight to enter. These types of impacted rainforests are important to study because they show how human damage can be reversed. Over the past couple years, researchers have found that 80 to 100% of primary forest species are now back in the regenerating forest. The fact that the MLC is growing back is hopeful, but the damaged rainforests around may never be the same. Despite the positive regeneration of the MLC, there are nearby towns on the other side of the Madre de Dios River that are not as worried about the preservation of the rainforest and more concerned with their well-being and the growth of their families and community. The other side of the river is not protected and is in danger of human desecration for goods and growth of communities. One of these being a town called Salvacion. About an hour away from the MLC, Salvacion is a growing community with people eager to earn money and develop. There are many other towns like this in the Manu National Park that are protected by the park itself, but are confined to the area they have, which makes it hard for them to thrive in a modernizing world. It's difficult to decide who is right in an argument over previously native-owned land and recently protected, but it is one issue out of the many facing the Amazon as of late. The one thing we can hope for the Amazon rainforest is that it continues to be protected so humans cannot tamper with the beauty and life inside of it. And for the areas that have been tampered with, there is hope for a positive future of regeneration, despite the damage caused by the human species.